doing an experiment, and it's another way that I can use my sourdough starter. And it's kind of like a cross between a biscuit and a breakfast cookie or a pizza bite or something like that. It's just trying to do something more with my starter so I don't have to create the levain or the sponge that I'd have to let sit out overnight and then do it in the morning kind of a thing. I'm trying to do something that's more fast, that I can do it today instead of 24 hours from now or 12 hours from now. Not that I don't love to do that. My bread is always that way. My buns, my pretzels, a lot of stuff I like to do that way. But I really want to find more uses for my starter. So I'm going to go ahead and tilt you down and show you what I've got going on. Okay, so in my bowl here, I've already got probably about a half a cup. I'm putting roughly 2 cups of starter, and I'm not being very careful. Kind of goopy. So I like it to be just a little bit drier than this. This is a little bit runnier than I like it. It will be okay. For the purpose that I'm using it for, it should be just fine. I always get this all over myself if I'm not careful. I'm going to set my starter aside, and I will take care of feeding it and stuff in a little bit. So, 2 cups of starter. I am going to put, just a sec. Okay, I'm going to put a tablespoon of baking powder. You can use any kind of baking soda as long as it's, baking powder. Any brand, I'm sure will work just fine. Just make sure that it is active. I had my last can I had to get rid of because I think it was too old. So then I'm going to put a tablespoon of that in there. Put a tablespoon of baking powder. Not baking soda, baking powder. Baking soda would be way too strong to put a tablespoon of. I'm going to put in a tablespoon of sugar. I'm going to put in a teaspoon of, I'm going to do a half a teaspoon of salt because I'm going to be adding some stuff to this that's going to make it saltier. And then I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of milk, powdered milk. This is not instant powdered milk. It is full-on powdered milk. I don't know how to explain it. I get it from our church storehouse. And you put about enough powdered milk in there to equal about 3/4 of a cup to a cup of milk. And I might be heavy-handed, but I'm okay with it. You're going to need about 2 tablespoons of soft butter. And you're going to mix all that together enough to where all that the baking soda starts to break the dough. I don't know how else to say it. So remember when I pulled it out, it was real stringy and gloppy. When I get done stirring this with the baking powder, it starts to break. It's still kind of gloppy, but it's not so stringy. Whoa. So I've got this incorporated pretty well. So there are no lumps of butter in here that I can see, but it is starting to aerate from the baking powder. At this point, I'm going to grab some stuff to put in it. So the first one I want to do is a pizza type of mixture. I've got some of these mini pepperonis, and they're teeny tiny instead of the big, so I don't have to cut them. Yeah, they might be more expensive. I didn't notice. And I probably put in about a half a cup, maybe. I've got some sliced olives. I'm going to put some sliced olives in here, probably, what would you say, about a heaping 1/8 of a cup to 1/4 of a cup. I'm going to put in about 1/4 of a cup of chopped mushrooms. And I'm going to put in a couple tablespoons of peppers. And I did a coarse chop on these. You can do a finer chop, which probably would be smart, but I'm not being smart right now. I'm just trying to get it done. You don't want too much goop in there. You want it to be more like a flavored bread. You want it to you don't want it to be so much stuff that it's just a little bit of breading. I guess it just depends. Really, the joy of this is that you can really do it your way. This is the way I want to do it. I have some fresh garlic. I think I want to put a couple cloves. Where's my garlic press? I have some fresh garlic. I'm thinking I might want to put a couple cloves of garlic in here. So I'm going to grab 2 fat cloves. I want 2 big cloves because I don't want it too small, but I don't want it too big. I'm only going to do about 2. As much as I love garlic, I don't want it to be the only flavor. I don't want it to be the only flavor. And then the next thing that I want to put in here is some cheese. You could put sausage. You could put whatever you like on your pizza. So we kind of like a combo pizza, hence the peppers, the mushrooms, the onion. Oh, no onion. We don't really like chunks of onion, but we like the taste of onion. So I'm going to add a little onion powder. A lot of fresh onion will actually upset my stomach. So I'm going to use, about a half of a teaspoon of onion powder. And I'm going to throw in a little Italian seasoning because I'm kind of making these kind of like a pizza bite. So I'm just going to add a big pinch of Italian seasoning. Maybe a pinch and a half. Oh man, that smells good. Between the garlic, the onion, and the Italian seasoning, it's like, whoa. Okay, you guys, I almost forgot the most important part. Not really the most. I'm going to add about a cup or 2, whoops, a cup or 2-ish of shredded cheese. You don't want to forget that. I don't know where my kids put away my muffin top pan, so I'm just going to use a muffin tin. All right, cheese is well incorporated. Oh man, this smells good. All right, so I'm gonna put about a quarter of a cup in each greased muffin tin. You can put cup liners in here if you want to. I have not found too many problems with it sticking with enough, with just using grease or spray grease or ghee or whatever you have on hand. And I'm just going to fill this up. I might have just enough. That would be awesome. Maybe not quite enough. So when I first saw a recipe like this, it was actually a keto savory breakfast cookie. And although I appreciate some of the stuff that I learned from the whole keto thing, I just don't know that I'm fully on board with the keto thing. So I really wanted, I know I like my biscuits, and I wanted to do something that we could do on the go for breakfasts for us, because I work in the mornings, my daughter has school, and even though it's COVID, she still has a couple days a week that she goes into the building. And so the thought of the pizza bite came into my ideas. I made one already with ham and cheese, and those were really good. I used mozzarella cheese and ham. And then the pizza idea came, I don't even know how. I think I was looking on Pinterest and saw pizza bites, and I was like, oh, I bet I could do that with my sourdough. So that's what this is. This is kind of my own rendition of a pizza bite. I don't know how they really are. And then the sausage so there's the ham and cheese ones were amazing. I think they need a little something, like maybe a runny egg with it, or some sausage gravy, or some hollandaise sauce. Holy cow, hollandaise sauce would be great. Or something that you can dip it in, because it's a little bit on the biscuit dry side, right? Oh, my oven's hot. I'm going to try another one tomorrow with, I cooked up some sausage with some chopped up mushrooms and chopped up onions, And I think I'm going to try that tomorrow in a breakfast cookie. I'm going to bake them at 375 degrees Fahrenheit for about 25 to 30 minutes, give or take. So I will be back when they're done. Okay, so I actually let them cook for about 30 minutes, and then I just let them sit for about 10 because they were really hot. And so let's take one out. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. So the bottom, I'm going to crack this open. Pepperoni, peppers, olives. These marinara sauce, but these are pretty good. I'm not sure there's much I would have done differently with these. These are pretty good. So tomorrow morning, I want to try to do one with sausage, that sausage and mushroom and onion that I fried up together. The whole purpose behind these was to make a to-go breakfast item. And I kind of like these. They're really good with the ham and cheese. My whole family loved that one. That was a little bit more like a biscuit with ham and cheese in it. But this one is probably my favorite. This is pretty yummy. I think if I got some marinara and dipped it in the marinara, it would be even better. So I might go find that and see about having that for a snack tonight. Thanks for joining me on this adventure on A Fork in the Loaf, and I will see you next time.